In this video, you're going to see how to use the Instabuilder web page editor. We'll be constructing a brand new page from one of the templates they provide, but the editing techniques we use are identical when you want to modify an existing Internet Business in a Box page. Start at the WordPress dashboard and click on the left where it says Instabuilder. That brings up the Instabuilder dashboard. We want to create a brand new page, so click the button that says New Page. That brings up a gallery of all the templates that Instabuilder provides. They're categorized into different types of templates, so select the category you want. In this case, we'll build a squeeze page. That's the same thing as a landing page. It's where people leave their opt-in information. Scroll through all the pages until you find the one that you like. Those of you who have sharp eyes may notice that we've built some of the Internet Business in a Box pages directly from these templates. When you find the one you like, click on the Choose button that appears when you hover your mouse over the picture. That brings up the template in editing mode, and you can recognize editing mode by the thing that looks a little bit like a TV remote control on the left-hand side of the screen. Each screen is built up from a number of different elements. And you can change an element like the text that says company name just by clicking on it. When you do, a small toolbar appears somewhere on the screen near the element. In this case, it's in the lower right-hand corner of the element. To change the text, click on the toolbar icon that looks like a pencil and the text editor comes up. You can see the text editor toolbar above the element itself. Now edit the text to say what you want to say. In this case, we'll change it to say Wealth Builder Formula. That's the way you edit text no matter where it appears on the page. When you click anywhere outside the text element you're editing, the text editor goes away. In this case, we clicked on the video, and now you see a small toolbar appearing below the video. We're going to change the video to one of the Wealth Builder Formula videos on YouTube. To do that, click on the icon in the toolbar that looks like a gear. That's the one on the left. And when you do, the video settings panel comes up. You'll see that it's already set to show YouTube videos, but you can show other kinds of videos if you want to. Since the Wealth Builder Formula videos are on YouTube, all you have to do is take the URL of the YouTube video and put it in the space provided. The easiest way to do that is to display the YouTube video in your browser, copy the URL, and paste it into this area. You can set the options to on or off to automatically play the video when the page is displayed and to disable the controls. If you disable the controls, it forces the user to watch the entire video or leave the page. Now we're going to change another section of text. Click on it. Click on the pencil in the toolbar and change the text to read whatever you want. As you can see, you have full text editing, including changing the font and the color. Next, change the text area to give people the call to action to leave their cell phone number. By now, you should know how to do this. Now you'll see how to deal with getting people into your mailing lists. On this default form, the Instabuilder opt-in form is being used. We have a much easier solution for you than that, so watch carefully. The first step is to click on the opt-in form. When you do, the toolbar for the opt-in form displays. This time, click on the icon at the right that looks like a trash can, because you want to delete this entire opt-in form. The editor will ask you to confirm that you really want to delete it, and you should answer yes. Then move your cursor to the element's remote control. Click on the shortcode element as shown and drag it to where the opt-in form used to be. Then click on the shortcode in the page to bring up its toolbar, and click on its gear-shaped icon to bring up the code settings panel. Type in the shortcode. The format is always left bracket, SCE, space, name, followed by the equal sign, and then the name of the shortcode. In this case, we're going to use the shortcode WBF-Aweber-instant-access, followed by a right-hand bracket. Always end with the right-hand bracket. That signifies you're going to use the shortcode for your Aweber email list using the button that says Instant Access. In your configuration guide, you can find out what all the shortcodes mean. This shortcode puts people onto your first email lists. The new shortcode will appear on the screen, but don't let that throw you off. When the page displays, it's going to display a full opt-in form. Next, we're going to change the leftmost graphic. As before, click on the element and then click on the gear-looking icon in the toolbar that comes up. That brings up the image settings panel. Click on the action button and then click on Upload Image. This brings up the gallery of all the images currently stored in your system. In this case, we want to display the image of our first ebook. So scroll through all the images until you find the right one, and then click on it and click the Use Image button in the lower right-hand part of the screen. That brings up the image of the book in your page, and you can click on it again to adjust the size. To adjust the size, click on the little boxes called handles that appear on the blue lines of the box surrounding the image. Drag them around until the image is exactly the size that you want. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing with the second image. And we're going to do exactly the same thing again with the third image. When you press the Action button, one of the options is to search for the image. That allows you to search the internet for an image to use in your page. In this case, we're not going to use it. You can experiment with searching for an image in one of the practice pages. Now change the titles and text under each image. By now you should be an expert at doing this. One of the little tricks with the text editor is to not erase all the text in the text editor first. Make your changes like it's being done here on the screen. Set the parameters like the color and the font and then start typing some things in. After you do that, erase the text that you don't want. This is really the easiest way to use the editor. So, let's adjust the titles for all three books. And now let's adjust the text underneath each book. For the sake of brevity, We're just going to type in some junk text right now. Now you're going to see how to adjust your privacy, disclaimer, and terms of use. We've made that very easy for you to do. Right now in the template, this is just a text element. You need to delete it. Click on it, then click on the trash can icon in the toolbar and confirm that you want to delete it. Then click on the navigation element in the remote control and drag it to where the text you deleted used to be. As you can see, sometimes you have to move the cursor around a little bit to get it in the exact spot you want it. Watch for the yellowish bar to see where the element is going to be placed. Then click on the word Home to bring up the navigation element toolbar and click on the gear icon to bring up the menu settings panel. Pick Menu Setup and then pick Bottom Menu. Then pick Menu Style and select the color you want the menu to be in. In this case, let's pick white. As you can see, we've completely replaced the menu to reflect the terms of service, the privacy policy, the disclosure, and About Us. Those are automatically linked to pre-built pages in your Internet Business in a Box. You don't need to do a thing. As a last step, we're going to change the text containing the copyright to read Wealth Builder Formula. Now finally, click on the floppy disk looking icon in the upper right-hand corner, and that saves your page. Once you do that, you can click on the icon that looks like an eye, and you'll see exactly what the page looks like. As you can see, the correct video is playing, and the full opt-in form is displaying for your email list. There's one other editing technique you should be aware of, and that's how to create columns. To do that, click on the columns element in the remote control and drag it to the place where you want to create columns. In this case, we're going to put it underneath the video. Now notice the white box that appears with the dotted line in the middle. You have two columns. You can drag that dotted line left or right to get the specific column widths that you want, and you can use the plus and minus keys to add and remove columns within the columns. In this case, we want a narrow column on the right and a wide column on the left. Now we're going to click on the graphics icon on the remote control, and a display of all the built-in graphics appears in the Insert Graphics panel on the right. We'll pick an arrow and just drag it into the right column we just created. Then to finish up, we're going to click on the columns and then on the gear icon in the toolbar that comes up to bring up the column setting panel. We don't want that ugly white box below the video, so we're going to select a background color for the columns. Once we do that, we can specify that the background column is transparent, and that will display the color that's behind the columns box. As you can see, the white box went away, and now the arrow is displaying to bring the viewer's attention to the opt-in form. Click on the floppy disk icon again to save your work, and click on the eye icon to see what the pages are going to look like. Now these simple edits are going to cover over 95% of the edits you're going to need to do on your pages. When you need to do something more complicated, use your practice pages or create a new page just like the one we did here to experiment around with. That's it, and happy editing.